Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick 31 of my favorite 31 albums of 2023. This is the countdown. Of course, we do every December here on the channel where I count down my 31 favorite albums of the year in the year that we're doing them, right? So, of course, 2023. We've got 31 days in the month. I picked out my top 31, though. On the webzine, though, we will have like my top 50 or 75 or 100, whatever the hell it turns out to be. I've got a pretty lengthy list. I will say this year was really tough to kind of put a top 31. Kind of like talked a little bit about this on yesterday's show on the finale of the solo album show, is that I thought this was a pretty damn good year for music, but it was a really good year for underground music for me anyway. So it was like I was kind of torn between like a lot of these underground albums that I really liked a lot this year and some of these more, known and mainstream type releases that I also really liked a lot this year. And there's some pretty strong stuff that's come out like in the last couple of weeks that I just haven't had enough time with to even, consider including them in the top 31. They'll probably make my overall list. But I tried to pick the stuff that I've listened to the most, not necessarily the albums that I've rated the highest, right? In some cases that is the case, but it's more of when I do these best of, my favorites of the year. It's more about the ones that kind of at the end of the year are still really sticking with me, that I listened to the most, that I went back to the most, and that I'm just enjoying the most, right? But there could be others that I've thought were technically better albums, but that better doesn't always mean, resonate like a favorite, right? So with all that being said, today for my pick number 31, again, this was hard. I had finishing, the top of my list was fairly easy, and then the whole second half was crazy. This is the sixth album from this particular American band, released on September 15th, 2023, so not all that long ago, released on Braxton Hymns Records, produced by the band. It is Stone by Baroness. Right, holding it upside down. Sorry, guys. Yeah. This is the band from down south. What do you call Baroness? Progressive metal, sludge metal, stoner metal, alternative metal. I don't know. They're a pretty unique band. They don't really fit into any neat style, but they've got a really cool catalog. We reviewed their catalog earlier this year. Yeah, Chris Canzaneri and myself reviewed it before this album came out. As soon as we reviewed this album, it's like, well, Pete, where does this album now fit in their discography? Well, you know what? I think it's really good. First of all, I think it fits squarely somewhere right in the middle. Maybe it's not quite one of their best, but it's certainly not one of their worst. It's really, really good. And again, only got a couple months with it, so it's still hard to figure out where these things fit. That's, again, getting back to what we talked about earlier. That's the tough thing about doing these, is because in many cases we're being asked to assemble a list of favorites on albums that we've only had for a couple of months. Maybe barely any of these. None of these we had and been enjoying for a year, right? So it's really tough. Doing these, I think, end of year lists to me are the toughest ranking things that we do here on the channel, because again, you're trying to pick favorites in some sort of order of albums that you really don't know all that well yet. And that's why it's kind of cool sometimes when we go back and we look at like our best of the years from 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 15 years ago, right? Whatever, a decade ago. And we look back and we say, okay, well, back then, in 2002, I picked these are my top 10. How do I feel about that today? We're actually doing a show on this on the UK Connection coming up in early 2024. Do we still feel the same about some of these albums now that we did then? In a lot of cases, it changes, right? Because what we're really kind of digging, or maybe not all that much back then, over time, sometimes your taste changed a little bit, or your perception of an album changes a little bit. So these are what I'm picking as my top 31 now, but Anyway, I'm going on and on about stuff that has nothing to do with Baroness. So yeah, so I gave this, I think I gave this a 4 out of 5 or 4.5 out of 5, something like that. Of course, John Dyer Baisley on lead vocals, guitars, and keys. Gina Gleason on lead guitar, backing vocals, keyboards, and things. Nick Jost on bass, keyboards, backing vocals, and things. And Sebastian Thompson, drums, keyboards, and other things. Yeah, really good album. 10 songs, really cool artwork that kind of fits but doesn't fit the scheme of all their past albums. Normally their albums are like one solid color named after a color. Here it's called Stone, and you got like all sorts of different colors from the previous albums all kind of like blended in here, which I think is kind of neat too. It's a little bit of change of pace, but again, some really strong songs on here. As always with this band, there's a mix of heavy and kind of light and kind of proggy and kind of sludgy. Last Word is absolutely terrific. Choir is really good. I also dig some of the stuff later on the album, Shine and Magnolia. Magnolia is absolutely tremendous. Under the Wheel is good. Really, not a bad song on here. It's 46 minutes long. Excellent stuff. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. Baroness are a very cool band, very different. Again, if you like a band that doesn't really fit into any one kind of bucket, this is the band for you. They're heavy, they're proggy, they're kind of sludgy, they're kind of stonery. Not a doom band. They have like these little alternative type, 90s elements to their music as well. A lot of their stuff is pretty catchy too. Great guitar work, really good guitar work, thunderous rhythms, really big riffs. Yeah, cool band. Number 31. Baroness Stone is my pick for today. Pick number 31. We'll see you tomorrow for pick number 30. For those of you who are going to be watching that haven't bought a lot of stuff here this year, I know everybody likes to play along every day with the monthly show, the daily show, I should say. Use this as an opportunity to go maybe listen to something that when I reviewed it, however many months ago, you didn't bother checking it out. Well, now's your chance each and every day this month to go and listen to some of these of my picks, and then come back and let us know what you think, right? But if you have been actively purchasing and listening to new albums this year, hopefully you've got your list ready. Do like you do each and every day, each and every month. List your pick in the comments below, right? That's what it's all about. So thanks for watching, everybody. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, and our Cameo page. So thanks in advance for all your support there. And we'll see you soon here with more stuff. Martin Popoff is coming back to the Funhouse in just a little bit after a week break. So stay tuned for that. We've also got the Professor's Picks coming up later this afternoon and tonight for Fusion Friday, right? So we've got a jam-packed schedule today, so don't touch that dial. Tomorrow, the UK Connection. Sunday, Ranking the Albums with John Coltrane. I am Pete Pardo. We'll see you soon for all that stuff. Take care. Bye-bye.